Baxter Falls, people. So yeah, it's hard to get a good photo of it. Well, that would be a sick, nice waterfall. It's only barely dribbling, but fuck, what a damn shame it's not flowing better. That'd be grouse. This bit of the rock here looks like trachyte as we're going up it. Oh. How's it going, people? Today we're going into Baxter Creek on the great SunshineCoastHinterlandGreatWalk, which I've already done, but we're not doing that specifically. We're going to suss out some tribs, see if they're still flowing, and the idea is we're coming from Flaxton Mill roadside. Now, when I did Baxter Falls originally, I came in from the other side, so it was technically shorter. I thought I'd come this way, never been this way, and we're going to do a trib that runs pretty much parallel with what we're going to go down the hill now to the creek, and we're going to do a loop. We'll hit the creek, and then we'll loop back up, see if these tribs are flowing, come back up this end up back up here and join this track again, hopefully. So it is the end of autumn, and it's about, I don't know, not even 20 degrees. It's quite cool. It's supposed to rain this weekend. It's overcast at the moment, but it's not supposed to rain today, so I think the weather's pretty good for us. Not too hot, not too cold. And not too muddy because the ground is pretty all right here so far. I reckon as you get lower into we're going to ascend to the creek, it's going to get probably wetter. Yeah. So I haven't really seen anyone do any of these tributaries that run off Baxter Creek. I know people have gone to the top of Baxter Falls, which I have tried to climb originally and become a bit, wasn't impossible, but just got a bit harder. But I'm going to retry that again, probably not today, but you can come from the top through someone's land apparently, but they're not really happy about it. Versus if I cut a bit higher up on the track on the other side and try to cut in on probably an angle where I have to cut some bush, I might be able to get up a bit easier than actually climbing into the kind of dodgy waterfall itself, because I've got up like the first 2 levels, but the last bit was a bit, how's it going? Anyway, that's not today's objective. So yeah, there was one car at the car park, so I don't know what they're doing, but it's 3.5 k's to the creek, which seems longer than it really looks like. But anyway, that's the story. There's an access gate that joins this track now, which is a shortcut. I saw that on the map as well, that way the track bend around was weird. But I mean, we can go out that way, it doesn't really matter. Parking spots back there anyway. I'm going to save me about 100 metres. Just past a couple, they're probably the ones that parked their car and they're on the way back, so good for them. Okay, so we're heading into Kondalilla National Park. You didn't read the sign before. And obviously you have the big and bad Kondalillafalls in the next valley over, which I also I've done a bit of exploring off the Obi Creek. I want to do a bit more and suss out the tribs of Skeen Creek, which is the one that Kondalillafalls is on, so there's always something for me to suss out. I hope that these tribs haven't dried out already. They're not super long. They kind of just run off this hillside, but they don't have a lot of drainage above it, so we're going to see. If they're looking pretty dry, we might have to leave these for next summer, but I thought I'd give it a crack. So now this is much wider because it's a car track. I don't know how far this. Oh yeah, the car track probably goes to. There's a little. We're on a flat plateau bit, and then before it starts to go down, obviously the road will stop there, and the road is not going to go to the creek. So and there's a zigzaggy track down the hill. Turn right now, which is weird. Very boggy track. Alright, I'll see you up here at the junction, probably where this road ends. There is the Flaxton Walkers Camp in 800 metres, so I'll point that out as well. Obviously that shows a flat area. Probably this is where this track will get to. And before, yeah, you've got a flat area to camp before you ascend or descend into the creek, sorry. It's a bit of a shame they don't actually signpost this waterfall. I mean, if you start from the northern side, the other side that I come in last time, there's no real good car park. You've got to kind of, they expect you to walk from Mapletonfalls, which is like an extra fucking K or two, which is not necessary. And the little street that joins to where the walk really starts off the main road there's no parking at all. Like, they've literally put up no standing signs with the few houses that are there because they don't want vehicles parked in a little cul-de-sac. I understand that in a way, but that's also a parks problem. They should have just bulldozed a bit of a car park past the property lines into the national park where you could actually park. It would make it a bit more user friendly. So I had to do some dodgy park on the side of the main road next to some house, which, you know, people still not going to like that. They're going to think, what's this car doing here? Anyway, so that's the first problem with it. Second thing is, this side over here, we've just discovered that it has a little car park, fits about 8 or 9, 10 cars comfortably. Much better than what the other side has. But they still don't advertise it. They don't go, hey, like, park here and go to this waterfall. The only reason you know about the waterfall is that they write it on the sign in small print. Yeah, once you're here, 3.5 k's to the waterfall, but they're not telling you in town, they're not telling you up the road. You know, they're not even really telling you unless you know about doing the walk. So it's kind of weird. It's a weird waterfall that wouldn't get much attention because of that reason. Okay, granted, it's not as spectacular as Kondalilla, but we're not about that. We're just about pointing out the fact that you've already got a track here. Should be actually telling people properly to come here. Be different if there was no track, then like they do with everything else, they hide it. That's what it is. But anyway, bit bizarre. And it's not like it's a dangerous track. Like, this is a great walk, so they want people to do it. So getting to the falls is not that bad. But anyway, that is the story. A few bellbirds were about. They've kind of stopped now. Feels like it's going to rain, but the radar says there's nothing right on us anywhere, so I'm pretty happy. You said about 50% chance of rain. I bet no more than 5 mils, which is fuck all. I think we'll be fine. Should be nearly at this walkers camp by now. Alright, so keep going right to go to the falls. We'll continue on the Great Walk. Left is the camp, so we'll have a look at this quickly. Because there's also supposed to be a fire trail that extends, I don't know how overgrown it is, but extends this walkers camp. So, what does it say? Road, no through road only, no access. Private road, I don't know what it is. I'm going to figure that out in a second. There's a dunny here, it's nice. Campsite, no open fires. You're fucking kidding me. It's the most wettest area and like no fires. Pretty sure people are going to have a fire if they want to have a fire. So you can walk right in there, get a bit further into the bush. It's a massive stump there's been logged. Tells you the actual, how many spots there are, geez. Alright. So we're here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's a group area. Dunny looks alright. Tap there, so you got water, that's good. So this road, yeah, this road will just kind of, it's supposed to go along top of the ridge line. This is where we actually may be cutting out, somewhere into here, hitting this road. So I need to know if this road, service road, yeah, so it does continue. I wonder how far it continues. The idea is there's multiple trips even after today. If we come out of this one, hit this road fine, we might do another loop, go wider, and do another cut out and get to this track as well. So hopefully this, yeah, so far it looks good. When it stays good all the way, it actually could help you exit about, I don't know, several of the tribs at least. All right, we'll worry about all that once we try and get out. Let's get down to the creek. Now I've actually done a little waterfall and a little bit of the creek explore of Baxter Creek way upstream on a tributary, way above the main falls, and that is in private property. I've got access from lovely people, Ellison Falls, so check them out. go stay there. There's very little access to their own Elysian waterfall. Named after whatever they wanted to name it after. I forget, that was a couple of years ago now. Anyway, yeah, not bad in there. So I thought, why not try and check out some more stuff downstream. Now this is eventually going to go out of the national park on the creek. Before it hits the Obi Creek, it goes through private property, so, but it also flattens a lot, so I don't even know, like the main creek itself below Baxter doesn't really show much in terms of waterfalls. It's more the tributaries that are climbing back out either side of the gully that we're trying to investigate. So I've got really 3 on the other side to suss out, probably maybe 2 or 3 on this side as well. So, you know, about 5 or 6 days worth of exploring in this one creek with tribs alone. That's if they're all flowing. Like I said, today will be investigation. If one's dry, chances are they're mostly all dry. And then we'll have to just wait. Did get some rain only about a week or so ago. Actually probably it was 2 weeks now. And it's supposed to rain tonight for the weekend, so we might get a bit more flow again for the next couple of weeks after this, if it rains enough. We'll see how it all pans out. This track's going to start getting steeper pretty damn quick because it's going to start going down. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so the trip we're going up, well, there's obviously going to be probably more little gullies, but there's a short one that's got nothing really in it in terms of length. We're kind of skipping that first one, and then we're going to go next one past that to the left to climb up, which is longer, which I'm optimistic it has some pretty steep sections in it, but looks climbable and hopefully long enough to have flow. So somewhere into there. Don't hear any water yet, we're still way high. Alright, see you down here once we get to... This still looks like you could drive this with the car. Like they've come in a bit further. Obviously it's going to stop pretty damn soon, probably where the sign is. It looks like it's going to... Had some foot traffic through there, Jesus. All mushed up. So what does this sign say? Walkers Camp, Mapletonfalls. There's another service road. That's interesting. Okay. So we're going down, obviously, and around. I don't really know if this road is showing up on the map, this other service road. It won't go far because there's not much more of a plateau for it. Let's have a look at the map. Yeah, I've seen someone's walked it on Guy and recorded it. I don't know, for their own curiosity. I don't think there's any lookout. Probably worth sussing one day. Maybe not right now because it's a bit of a late start, but some steps. Anyway, let's just get into our creek, get the bad boy. Perfect right now, no humidity so far. That's a little bit of rock there. It is quite gorgeous. I really don't get why they've, well I get it, but I don't understand why. This Great Walk has weird parts where you've got to walk the road to join the sections of forest. So to get from Mapleton Falls, and then to get to here, you've got to go along people's roads, and they've got little signs, little green wooden walking track signs along the street, which is okay, like it's the only way to connect it all, but it's still weird. I feel like there's enough forestry, like if they had a connected like Kondalilla or something, you've already got Kondalilla Great Walk, yes, but I mean, I don't know, I think they could have designed it where you could actually have a great walk that just stays in National Park. You don't want to be walking streets, it's a bit weird. That's my opinion on that. Anyway, yes, this is a beautiful little spot and they want to connect it, but I don't know. Then you just have the walk. You don't have to have a great walk trying to walk streets. Most people, and I say most, probably just park their car and do little day sections. I don't think anyone really walks like multi-day. I'm not saying they don't, but if the choices are you've got to walk the streets in between sections, that just becomes a bit unappealing for me. That's the point of why I don't want to do it. I want to walk in forest the entire time. Anyway, starting to hear water now. Way down there on the right. So I'm guessing, yeah, the main creek's been bending around and we hit it and then we go left and then we climb back up. So far, looking at this bush line, fairly dryish, very open. So pretty easy to move through that. I think the biggest culprit out here is the old sarsaparilla vine's gonna wrap around my ankles about 20 times, probably trying to get out, but that'll be a problem for later. But no, that's good. There's no lantana so far in there, so that's really nice. I've noticed that's a good thing around here, is that there is lantana, but nowhere near as bad as Diagla has it. So yeah, I think once our creek dries out or whatever, that hopefully won't be too bad to move through. Just wanted to point out too, so that little management trail that ends, it's not even that far up there. It's almost, you can almost cut to it now. So that's probably why, yeah, it's a cleared little spur, and that's why, I don't know why they've got a management trail there. It doesn't manage anything, it just ends. It goes somewhere off over there where that clearing kind of pops through the trees. Interesting. So either here you can cut straight to it and join it, or another zigzag once we get back again down there, you can have one more chance at hitting it. We don't have to worry about that. Well, at least some of the other great walks, you don't walk bits of road. Pretty sure, for example, the Kondalilla Great Walk, sandy fucking Tiwa Beach, you don't walk along roads. The Kondalilla Great Walk, you don't really walk on any roads, just all forest. There's even this Gold Coast Hinterland walk. I don't think it, shortcut there, I don't think it walks any roads. So yeah, interesting. And now they've got the new Gibbergunya walk and Nightcap Wee in Northern New South Wales. And that doesn't walk any roads. It walks fire trails, but that's different because it's inside the forest. I'm alright with them connecting fire trails to use them as tracks. I think that's sweet. Pretty much got a wide track then. But not actual street with cars, so come on. Anyway, and the other big beef is if you got this fucking Mapletonfalls on the, even on the, you know, on the Great Walk and in general, and they don't give you access to the base. That's what they should have focused on, building a stairway down. Anyway, probably over halfway into the creek, but still got the steeper bits to wind down still. It's going to be nice to go down this, but coming up the hills suck, but at least with the creek we're going slowly climbing up, so you're not going to feel it as much. The creek sound is still there, but it just got wider on us. Alright, sit down here. Thought of another great walk. There's fucking the Great North Walk from Sydney to Newcastle. I don't think that walks roads. Sorry, I'm just picking on them. Alright, pretty gentle gradient really. I mean, because they've put so many switchbacks into the track, like this one. Well, I've plucked this walk at about 5.5 k's. Probably blows out to about 7 or something. With zigzags like on the creek, but we'll see how that goes. That's if we take the Trib I've sussed out. That's if it's flowing, obviously. So it's not much. It's only about 600 metres of actual creek to climb up in terms of distance. And most of the other cases zigzagging and get down to the creek as we're doing now. So we come down a bit lower. It sounds like the creek is louder. I'm pretty sure that somewhere over there, what we're hearing is the sound of Baxter Falls, which is the direction. Bit of a rock face there. We've just come up and around off pretty much. Hopefully not too much of that in the exit. The creek is way louder, so we're almost there. We can almost see it. Not quite. A few more zigzags. Finally spy the water between the trees. Some little dry gullies, but they're not really the creeks we're trying to go up. They're not even marked on the map. For example, one was there. So I hope they're not indicators of what the other one's going to be like, but we're going to see. Alright, so I'm not sure if I filmed with Baxter Falls originally. There's a little bridge to get across. I'll do the 100 metre detour just to show you. I'm not going to climb up right now. And then we'll continue. Baxter Falls, people. So yeah, it's hard to get a good photo of it. But yeah, I've already climbed up and got up, like I said, to there pretty much, and then it was hard to get the last bit, but anyway. Wild, eh? Alright, let's get on to find some tribs. Booyah! Yeah, because I did Baxter quite a few years ago, I can't remember exactly. I got deja vu that I might have went downstream a little bit and had a little look, but I definitely didn't go up any tribs, I know that. I definitely wasn't probably paying attention to tribs, and I don't think I went that far. If I went anywhere, it probably would have been, I don't know. Looks like it already gets a bit fucking gorgy, rocky corner there. But yeah, then again, it does look like a lot of creeks. Sometimes it looks like somewhere else you think in your mind. Anyway, so we'll go and look at over on the bridge here, just make sure what side's better to walk on. Now, trib's on the left, so you'd want to stay on the left, but from what I just saw then, it might not be anywhere, might be rock straight into the creek there. Let's get on the bridge here. Scaffold fucking planks. Yeah, it is a bit gorgy. Maybe I didn't go downstream. So that's going to be fun. Alright, then looks like the right might be a bit better for the start. We'll see how we go. The bridge is definitely rocky. We haven't got far. It's only freaking like not even 100 metres to where this first trib is. Like I could have actually kind of stayed up in the forest behind that boulder. It's hard to see. The creek's diverting a little bit left. I don't want to be up too high, but also need to get down here. So let's see if I can go off this corner behind this rock before we get too high. So far, yeah, so we're going up high, but at least there's a track here. If we can just push back down to the creek down here, I'm definitely getting deja vu. Alright, so push back down the creek. It is easy to stay here now. I can see it's opened up again. So I have a memory of having this little wider little section, and I remember thinking to myself there might have been like a local swimming spot hidden, I don't know, in this little section. This is our trib here, I reckon. Not super flowing. There is water in it, but yeah, you ain't going to get the same flow as the creek, obviously. Yeah, I've got a deja vu of going and looking at that pool there. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, this is what we're going to look at. So it is fine. I think the water's just trapped in that rock. I think we'll just give it a crack. Like I said, it's a quick, easy way to loop back out. I should have looked at my photos last night to double confirm what I had taken photos of in here, but if I take a photo of that or not. If not, it'll be for next time when we go a bit further. Alright, let's try this bad boy. We've got to cross here. This trib splits into at least 2 other tribs, and we're going to figure out which one flows better out of them. They're both the same length apparently. Of course there might be some feeder tribs coming into the top of them, but they're not marked on the map. This creek climbs consistently all the way from this point. And there could be a big waterfall hidden in there actually. It looks like there's potentiality already. Like obviously we went down the track. That steepness has to be regained by going up this creek. So, except we're not zigzagging. This time we're going straight up it. Obviously no fucking, what's the word? Fuck. I can't think of the word. Switchback tracks for us on a creek. Alright, so it's flowing okay, so hopefully, happy days. Fuck, there could be, yeah, there could be a really good one. There's really potentiality of a far wall further back there. Alright, I don't think this is the split straight away, I think it's just an island around this bit of shit. The flow looks dismal because it is flowing either side of this fucking rock, so they've completely halved the flow. But it does sound like there's something up here, so either that or it's the sound of the backwater behind me, but I'm sure there's something. So we'll push on. Just fucking disappeared on me straight away, which is bizarre, but we'll go a bit further, see if it does come back. Like maybe some of the other trips downstream were flying better, but I'm not going to do a whole recon down the creek just to see which one to pick. Just kind of want to go up and get the easiest one closest back to the track for today. And we'll just climb up here and have a look. If it starts to really turn to not like any flow, then obviously we'll have to realign where we're going to go. Oh, there's some big boulders and the water's disappeared, but I think I can still hear something, guys, so we're going to keep going. Got to squeeze through there, so pretty fun just for squeezing through rocks if you want to explore that. I'm not even that far in yet. It's definitely, I reckon I can hear something. It's got to be a waterfall. There we are, nice slab and the flow's come back, so that's cool. It's not hectic, but it's nice. Look at the green moss and the rock, and the red is really good fucking offset to the green. It's really cool. This wasn't too far. You can actually pop in here pretty easily and just get to this one, even if you don't go any further. Now we have to climb up and around it. Not impossible, but yeah. At least the water's back, so yeah, it's good, it's promising. Bit of a shame this tree broke right over it, but can't win them all. And we'll see if we got anything else. I think it's going to have to keep climbing, so hopefully bigger. Alright, it's climbed up to the left, had to chop a little bit of weight away, just pop through here. You could almost climb the face of the falls. I reckon if you just probably did it barefoot, might be a bit easier. You grip yourself into there, but I wasn't going to try and slip and slide, just go that way, it's just easier. Little bit of a tear. Alright, let's see what we've got on above. It's going to split not far up here, and hopefully they'll be flowing. Alright, a few more boulders, and then got this corner here. You can hear a bit of a waterfall. Sounds like this will be the split maybe. The tree's fucking up the rock face, doesn't look very good, but let's go up here and have a look. Well, we got through that shit. A bit of face of rock here. Looks like if this is the split, the left is looking dry, the right's the one to take. We'll just see how far we can get. Alright, so yeah, this is the split. The left is dribbling, but it's not really worth going up it. Let's see, the right's like slightly better, but not a lot. I really don't know. I think the other ones on the other side of the creek have much more headwater flow. That's what I should have focused on. See, the flow's better on this, so we'll follow this a little bit. This slab looks alright. Looks like there could be, oh look at that. Oh wow, that'd be a sick waterfall just there. We might have to go look at that. I can see it now. It's not really flowing, but fuck. We'll have a look at that, and then we'll go above this and just see. Well, that would be a sick, nice waterfall. It's only barely dribbling, but fuck, what a damn shame it's not flowing better. That'd be grouse. Definitely want to keep climbing up it when it flows, but yeah, maybe we better go back to the other one still. Then again, if we cut left, we're eventually going to hit the track, and we just keep going around these. Maybe we can stay on this one now. Debatable. Flows okay here. I'm kind of curious to see what's on top of that, whether that is really the bulk of it. There might still be some little levels, but yeah, fuck it. We're just going to do this left one. We're just going to cut around. We'll get on that middle level, have a look. We'll get on top of that. We'll just keep an eye on it when it dries out. Yeah. I'll come back and do that other one when it has more rain. That's the go. So next time I'm going to choose a longer trib with longer headwater in here, probably on the other side, I reckon. And that'll be probably next week's adventure. Alright, so climbed up halfway. Just to give you perspective. Still a nice looking face of rock face. And we'll keep going up. Alright, so I've ducked in for a third bit of it, even though it looks all safe back down there, but still, I thought why not. So yeah, one more, we'll be on top of it. So it looks like it kind of like, what it does is it plateaus and then it splits and then it still climbs up but on an angle like that way, and that's when it's going to be probably drying out, but like I say, bone dry by then, but we'll see. I'm just going to kind of plot along with it. Well, this waterfall definitely was bigger than you think it is when you first see the first bit of it. She climbs right up. Look at this view now we're getting. That's fucking sick. Back into the Baxter Creek. Boom. Can't see any waterfalls on the other side, but it'd be nice if we did. Fucking drone would be handy to fucking scour either side of the walls. But there's no dramatic cliff line, I think it just climbs up. So climbing that other side is going to be a fucking mission too when we do that day. Look how much that goes up. Fucking hell. Anyway, here we have a little bit of a cascade coming up, I can see. It looks alright. So I think this is the toughest rollover point. It should just gradually climb now, so I think this is the biggest one we're going to get. Damn shame it just wasn't fucking pumping for us. There's like semi-faint tracks on the side, but I think it could just be animals trying to scurry their way up. I don't know if anyone's done this. I don't think you can, even in full flow, I doubt you'd hear it from the track going down, and the main Baxter Falls would overpower it even if it did anyway, so yeah, it full just hides away. It'd be interesting to see, like, when they first recon this area, when they were going to make the track down into this gully, they must have been, all right, where's the easiest spot? And they would have probably known about this waterfall, but they didn't want to incorporate it in any way. They could have had, like, we're not even that far off where that management trail ended up the top there. They could have had like a little detour, even to a platform like halfway on the side, just to see partial of this. But nah, too much extra effort. This bit of the rock here looks like trachyte as we're going up it. Oh, which is obviously volcanic. Yeah, look at that. That next one looks alright size. That's pretty cool. It's a nice shape. It's a damn shame it's not very big. I mean, not very good flow. This is actually more picturesque than probably that first one. You can see more of it. At least it's still got some water. It's not fucking, look at that, that's nice, I like that. That's even arguably better than the main falls just because it has a bit more character in it. You see a bit more of the water better. That's cool, wish that was bigger. Alright, up and along we go. See if we find any more gems. Alright, so we're on top of that one. It's not bad now, so we definitely get that drier forest that we saw originally on top. So I did say it'd be a beautiful exit, and it still will be. It's fucking amazing. I'm glad we did this now. We nearly didn't. We nearly went the other one, but this is actually turning out good. It's not choked in, got nice little bits of rock. And look, a beautiful exit whenever you want to get out, either side. Fucking gorgeous. Just keep plotting along. Next little 2 tiers. On we go. The Shelby doesn't have a better infinity pool because that'd be sick. You could sit up here, get here pretty easily from that top track. You'd have a nearly awesome view, but not exactly. There's a bit of rope. I don't know if it's meant to be a snare trap or something. I can wash down from somewhere. Got a really clear grass spur on the right. That's another good way to get up as well. Interesting. I wonder if there is a faint track in there. The management trail has to be above on the top and then far up there. This creek is dried. The dry gully just splitting off here. There's still some lines, but I think if this is dry, this ain't gonna give us nothing. So you really have 3 options here. You could go fucking straight left, shoot up on an angle, you're gonna hit that management trail, then you'll be back out on the main track. 2, we follow this for a little bit, and then we still skew out when we want to. Or 3, we try the luck with this fucking grass side and don't know exactly where it's gonna take us, and if it takes us, it will take us up to the management trail at some point, but yeah, look, I'm gonna just do a little bit of this creek, but it looks pretty fucking dead all of a sudden. It really does start back just there. There is a chance that maybe the water will reappear. There's a slab up here. And it's really nice, like, rainforest part all of a sudden. Like, we had that real dry fucking, I thought we were done with palms and it was all dry fucking just then. Eucalypt, and then boom, this little section here still has some rainforest. Now there's a bit of flow come back. Alright. Well, we'll go a little bit more. It could be a big, either the creek's bending or there's a wall just coming right up there. And it looks large. I don't know, maybe it is coming off the wall. Wow, dope. Oh, I'm glad we went here. Looks like about 15 metres. Fuck yeah. That is so dope. Didn't expect that all of a sudden. And now after this one, it might dry out again. That is cool. Wow, talk about hidden. Damn shame not flowing, because this is again a nice sized waterfall. Just dribbling. Alright, we can go up on the left, get around all the right, but I think we'll go left. Random little gully. Well, the loggers would have found this waterfall probably 50 years ago. There is stumps with the slots in them. So they definitely decimated the side of this. But yeah, it's cool to revisit them. You don't even know, because back in those days, they probably didn't even take photos. They weren't there for this. They were just, it's interesting. They cut their trees and they left, and they probably saw it every day, but they never thought that it would get lost in history and no one ever would come back after them. Until now. Just jumping back on top of the falls here. And we'll follow it, take a little bit more. It still climbs up, and it's parallel pretty much with the track anyway. Surprised she's still got a little dribble of flow. I thought she was really drying out when we were way back at the start there. But just enough to warrant the exploration of it. That's cool. It's such a random just drop off, eh, from nothing. Random shelf. That's definitely a find. Now I reckon it's just got a cascadey crumble. Climb that drop just back there, that's a decent enough size for people to want to look at. And yes, it's almost seasonal, but at the same time, that's closer to the top track than Baxter is. And arguably it looks better than Baxter, because Baxter twists on itself, and you know, you can't really get a straight on front shot of the flow and everything. If that was advertised as seasonal, people might want to detour to that and have a track coming down from the top here. At least you can get a front on photo with it, but because it dries out, they're just like, nah, people won't like it. Well, that's fine, but it still looks better than the other one. The other one just has more flows on the main creek. There's trees lost by the logging area. Smash down here, I reckon. Alright, keep going. We're definitely out of the hard stuff, so that's for sure. Just slowly climbing away up. Another little cascade, again, pretty easy to get out. I don't know what happened to that other grass track on the right, but now the left looks like the way to push out when the time comes. And now she's narrowed in a bit here, so I don't know if we're going to get much, and the water disappeared nearly. But if you want to get up, the easy part would have been there. We'll push through a bit further. I'm sure there'll be another way to you can get up there if you really needed to. Just don't know if I have any more water now. This is pretty, yeah, it's a pretty gnarly little narrowed in flat canyon. Call it nearly a canyon because that side's nearly vertical. It's pretty crazy. Surprising that we're so far up and yet, like I mean out of the creek line, and still giving us some interesting rock. Look at this. Oh yeah, this is good. Look at this wet rock face. I don't know. It's definitely dried now, but I don't know, just dribbling. It's interesting. It's another waterfall on an angle. Huh. This might be the last one as it climbs out of this. That's crazy. That's random as. Best way to get up now, I can either try and scale the face of the rock just a bit, maybe doable. Probably easier than going through the fucking ferns. Either that or we double back up the safer way. Let's try and get a shot of this. It's a bit hard to get a good photo because now it's twisting in like this way. Even though she's dribbling, but it's interesting. So that could be a good waterfall there, popping down, and then it runs down here, the bulk of it, and the extra bit is the extra overflow. That's interesting. Just disturbed the fucking baby red-bellied black snake. Fucking hell. Right there, if you can see. He's under a rock. I just moved some shit. He's gone now. He's probably almost hibernating for the winter. That one was so small, I almost thought he was a lizard. That's how small he was. But then he reared his head up. I was like, no, that's a snake. Lovely. Well, I opted for going back a little bit wider to come up, which I think was better. Because one, those ferns would have turned to shit over here. Would have been a bit fucked. Would have gone way up and around, which would have been a cunt. And climbing that would have been like, not possible, but why stress it when you can just go a slightly better way and find snakes? Okay, so I've got a little bit of tier here, another tier above it. I'm gonna keep plotting along out. All right, the next tier above, barely trickling, but still nice little bit of slabs of rock and not too choky, so I'm grateful for that. You'll see, it's near the end of its life. We're just going to flatten completely soon. Interesting. I think this might be it. About 100 or so metres up there, we'll hit the track. We just cut it on an angle, so this is now the chokiest it's been. And obviously fuck all water, so the ground's pretty much as flat as we are, so yeah, it's just trickling in. There's a little bit of lines, but not much left in it, so fuck it, let's just push up. Happy days. It's not too bad actually. A little bit of a scramble. The rocks were loose as I went up that larger waterfall. We'll do like the 3 level, you call it nearly. But a bit of care, you'll be fine. If you went wider and didn't get on the 2 middle bits like I did, might be granted even slightly easier. But so we got a little bits of Montana in here, but not much at all. Look at it. It is not taken over, thank God. Paranoid about snakes now because all these loose little rocks, they could be under any of them. Yeah, she looks pretty flat. All right, up and out. All right, so we got a bit of waist high bracken. It's manageable. It's not too steep at least. Pretty sure a bit of clearing is where we want to get to. So there's a bit of a rock starting there, so you want to avoid that. So I'm going to the right of it. Or either that or you go far left around it, but it's kind of the angle we want. Bit weird too, that snake. You think it'd be big by the end of the season? Like, it's not spring, it's nearly winter. If it was born in spring, should have had all summer to eat and grow and be fucking 60 centimeters long by now. Bit weird, like late birth. Now, once we get above this bracken one just here, looks like grass, it'll be easier. All this bracken is what is feeding off our wet, dripping hill, which created our trib we just were on. There we go, hit me better. Alright, so we've made it up. This is pretty much the management trail where someone had walked and recorded the line. And it's just an old excerpt of the logging, obviously. So there's not much road here. Must fizzled out a bit, but they kept walking. Maybe it just ends here. Bit of an opening. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, there it is, the grass. It's all stumps here, so I don't know. There's the track. Veered down a bit. Didn't go directly on the spur. That's weird. No, there's no point. Well, it helped us. Thank you for a bit of an exit here. We'll take it. They managed it just for us. Booyah! So looking at that, you can't hear any of the creek starting at all, but hey, now you know what's down there, so happy days. I'll be redoing this again. Next time doing a wider trib. So probably from the other side next time, going up the other side. It'll be a bit harder, There's a his private property up on top of the ridge on the other ones, but they've got much more potentiality of flow because they've got much longer headwaters cutting into it. So yeah, I also want to look at some more tributaries of Gorilla Creek. So Gorilla, Skeen, and Baxter all have little tribs that are all worth sussing them out. Anyways, we'll nearly be back on the Great Walk. Look at the size of that tree. That would have been humongous. That was the biggest stump so far I've seen in here today. Sad. Well, if this track wasn't here, we'd be bashing through that, which still was manageable, but yeah, this gave us 200 metres of a nicer exit. Anyway, that wasn't too long. I started late. I knew it was only going to be fairly easy. Even with doing a detour to Baxter and fucking around, I started at 10:30 and it's 2 o'clock, so not even 4 hours. Probably like 10 minutes out. A nice half a day for you. Anyway, here is the track. Alrighty, well, hope you enjoy the journey. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified of all the new misadventures, and catch you guys in the next one, eh? Peace out. By the way, quick flex. This week I've been everywhere, so 4 days in a row hiking. I've hit 4 different national parks all around Brisbane. So Monday was Mapleton National Park. Tuesday was Diagla, back at Mount Glorious. Yesterday was Springbrook, Gold Coast obviously. And today, Kondalilla. Boom. Go hard, people.